Devin Haney is suing Ryan Garcia because of a different reason than he is saying he's suing him for. I have read the complaint, and Devin Haney is tripping, because he claims that he wants something that he's never going to get. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where Devin Haney sued Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya. And I read the complaint, very familiar with the claims that he's making, Devin and Devin's team is making, and I'm here to tell you, it ain't what you think it is. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. It really makes a big deal to the difference to the channel. Gotta tell you, man, thank y'all for continuing to support me. But look, let's do this because there's some things in this lawsuit that people should understand. First and foremost, Devin Haney is probably not going to win this. And more than likely, Devin Haney is doing this not to get a judgment from Ryan Garcia, but to force the hand of Oscar De La Hoya, which makes the way that they went about it all the more suspect and unnecessary. But let's go through it. First and foremost, I'm going to explain something to you that I hope, unless you actually have a legal education, that you guys will shut up and listen to. Because some of this stuff, I'm really not giving you my opinion. I'm just giving you facts. Okay? So first and foremost, what is the claim or the complaint from Devin? Devin had several of them. Devin said battery from Ryan. Then there was also fraud, I do believe, from Ryan. There was also, I do believe, unjust enrichment from Oscar De La Hoya. And in some strange fashion that I still can't quite figure out, breach of contract. Now, I understand why he would claim breach of contract, but you can't claim breach of contract and fraud from the same action. You can't. So if you're saying that the fraud is related to the Osterine test, and the breach of contract is related to the Osterine test, you got to pick one. You can't pick two. And I won't go into a long explanation, but generally speaking, you can't do that. So that battery is probably going to go away. Also, the battery is probably going to go away because there's no unwanted touching. His argument is this, and let me explain what battery is. Some places call it assault and battery. Some places call assault. Some places call battery. For the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to call it battery, and I'm going to explain to you what you need for battery. Two things that you need for battery. Number one, you need intent. And number two, you need an unwanted contact, or an apprehension of an unwanted contact. Okay, that's battery. Now, why do I say that Devin is going to lose this battery thing? Because there was no unwanted contact, and the argument that their lawyer made for unwanted contact is ridiculous. Because he said that, well, no, it was an unwanted contact because Devin did not know that Ryan had PEDs, had Osterine in the system. So therefore, that makes that an unwanted touching. Let me assure you, without going into great depth, the court is not going to take that because that is not an unwanted touching. There may have been an aspect of it, something that was unforeseen, but that wasn't even unforeseen because Ryan's positive test was foreseeable. And how do we know that Ryan's positive test was foreseeable? Because there's rules in the contract that Devin actually states talking about performance enhancing tests and the protocol for punishment. So you can't say that I didn't have any idea that he could have been on steroids and that now you need it then you can revoke your consent. You can't revoke your consent to a contract based off a claim of fraud. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm telling you, it's just messed up. And I don't want to go into a lot of details of it because, it's just a hard thing to explain to people that don't understand the basic theories behind it. However, it's going to be tough to do. And arguing that is a touching, that it was that you no longer wanted the touch. Like, I wanted the touch when we were fighting. And guess what? Devin also touched him. So if Devin did not consent to a fight, retroactively did not consent to a fight, well, guess what? That invalidates the contract. If that invalidates the contract, then guess what? Oscar doesn't have to pay him if you invalidate the contract because you never had consent to enter into one. See, that's why you can't mix up the fault, the fault and the contract clause, the contract claims. It just gets messy. In some situations, you can do it, but in most situations, and generally speaking, you can't do that. So that's probably going to be gone. Anyway, the portion of it that I really wanted to talk about is what I think what Devin is really trying to do. Because, yeah, he's trying to stick it to Ryan a little bit. He's trying to get some money out of Ryan's pocket, but battery, fraud, probably not, because there's no intent. You have to be able to improve with the preponderance of the evidence that Ryan intended to take that stuff. And that he knowingly went into that fight, knowing that. You're not going to be able to prove that. However, let's talk about what they're really trying to do in this suit. What they're really trying to do is get paid. Now that I have the details, I really understand that they're just trying to get paid. So first of all, information came out that Devin was paid a $2.6 million advance. When Ryan missed weight and they did a change to the terms for the fight, they increased the advance of Devin Haney from $2 million to $2.6 million. But the phrase was advance. It didn't say purse. It said advance. What is an advance? An advance is when you're paying somebody some money on the promise or the expectation that they're going to earn that money. So you advance it to them. But what happens if you don't earn it? You don't get it. And you may actually have to pay those guys back. Return the money because the fight didn't make the money it said it made. So what is Devin asking for? Devin is asking for, number one, to freeze all monies of Golden Boys related to that fight so that they can get an accounting. And not just an accounting of the revenue brought in, but an accounting of all the expenses related to the event so that they can figure out whether or not they got paid their 47% of the profit from the event. Only problem, if the advance was $2.6 million and you didn't get $2.6 million, you only got 1.5, how do you know that the event actually made money? If the event lost money, he doesn't owe you 47% of the loss. And see, that's what they go when Devin claims that he wants $1 million in damages from Oscar De La Hoya because Oscar De La Hoya was unduly enriched when the New York State Athletic Commission gave Oscar the money that Ryan would have earned for that fight. So they claim, no, since we had 47% of the profit, you owe me 47% of that $1 million that was refunded to you. No, that's not how that works. Because if you're getting 47% of the profit that comes from the event has to make money in totality. If the event lost $1.5 million and then Ryan gives Oscar back $1 million, it still lost. The event still lost $500,000. So there still is no profit. So Devin asking for a percentage of that Why would the court give it to you? Because if the contract says, but again, this is a contract claim. This is a breach of contract claim. In the same time saying it was breached because of a battery. This thing is flawed. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney is trying to get an accounting of the money from the fight. He is trying to get the monies that would be paid in the future to Ryan Garcia to be paid to him. Even though the rule says that Oscar De La Hoya has to take all the money back from Ryan and can't pay him. So he has to bring the money back to him. But the money doesn't go to Devin because Devin didn't pay the money. And because that money is not profit, that $1 million is not pure profit to the fight, he doesn't get 47% of it. It seems to me that Devin invested a lot of money in this fight. He invested $300,000 that he had to pay. Well, there's $300,000 extra dollars paid from Golden Boy to Matchroom. So did they have to pay any money to Matchroom to get the fight made, period? So you're talking about $300,000 there. He had to pay $300,000 step aside to Sandor Martin. He got a $2.6 million advance, but didn't get $2.6 million because the fight didn't make money. He may have actually had to give the money back. So, yeah, man, this is what this is about. This is not about let me seek justice for the boxing world so that nobody cheats. No, it's I made some gambles on a fight and they didn't pay off. So I'm going to court so that I can see how much of it I can get back and see if I can put a stop to this loss I took. Monetary loss, not fight one. And because guess what? At the end of the day, the New York State Athletic Commission already punished Ryan for this. And they punished him according to the rules that Devin signed up to abide by when he agreed to fight Devin. When he agreed to fight Ryan. Whole thing is just jacked up in my opinion, man. Whole thing is jacked up in my opinion. And I don't think he's going to get anything out of this. Listening to Ryan Garcia talk about it, they're taking it seriously. It's like, man, I'm in court. I can't say anything. We'll wait for Clapback Thursdays to see whether or not Oscar says something. But nah, man, I've now read the complaint. The complaint is whack. Anyway, that's my take. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.